The show starts in 1 minute.
Please remember to replace the speaker on the post when you leave the theater. And now, on with the show.
Hello and welcome to episode 85 of Saturday Matinee Theatre, brought to you by your friends at the LONGBOX CRUSADE. We are here in Casa de Vega in our recording studio, set up in one of the many unused rooms of the Vega home. I am your host, Jared Albrecht, the yard sale artist. Some call me the Desert Fox. And joining me, as always, is the Philip to my James. It's Pat Sampson. Hey, Christados, how are you feeling today, loyal friend Christados?
I'm doing good, Jared. It's great to be here, back here for another week. We were getting ready to record. I'm here with Dave, just checking in on the Come Down on 'em taco shop that we got here.
Those are good tacos.
Those are good. You know what? And I think what Dave and I decided to do is every time we're back, we're going to bring something back from an old menu and we're going to add it to the list. So just for while we are here and you listen to this episode, if you come on down to Dave, Pat, and Dave's Tacos, come on down on them tacos. The special this week, we're bringing back a Mexi Melt.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. If you like the Mexi Melt, we got the Mexi Melt right here at Come On Down on.
I've
tacos.
been to Come Down on them tacos a couple of times, and I swear you guys put it into something that's highly addictive.
Yes, we do. It's just the food. It's just the food. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's called the Methy Melt.
The Methy Melt.
Just can't eat one.
Apparently not. Okay, joining me is our enthusiastic butlers, Ronaldo, played by my brother Jason the Weasel Skull Albrecht. How are you doing? You get stuck with butler parts and ugliest versions of in every one of these. So how are you doing today, Ronaldo Jason?
Oh, it's all good. I'm looking forward to flying out to Charlotte here before too long and going to the con, and I'm just hoping that Delvin leaves us some Rice Krispies in the cabinet there. I don't want any of that soggy cereal, Delvin. I want some Rice Krispies. I want some Snap, Crackle, and Pop Hiss. Pop Hiss. Snap, Crackle, Pop Hiss.
I love it. You interwove old bits into new bits. I love it. All right, and speaking of Delvin, we have the full crew with us. We have the evil land baron himself. It is J.A. Marsden. He's always on the radio. Delvin's on the mic. It is Delvin the Dark Web Williams. How is the evil land grab business going these days, Delvin?
It's going swimmingly, and just so you guys know, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen Soggy Bottom.
Soggy Bottom Boys.
Yeah, you're
all his days.
You know where I'm coming from on that one. So we'll get to it a little bit later. But as soon as I saw that commercial, I was like, opportunity to sing. So there we go.
Awesome. Well, it's just the core four tonight. We don't have a guest. We considered having Alan on, but he hates this program. So let's move on.
Very soggy.
No, we just didn't schedule anybody for tonight. But you know what? That could be fun. The core four. Let's have a good time. Pat, for the listeners out there who might be tuning in for the very first time here on episode 85, first of all, we want to say welcome to you guys. Tell them what they're getting into. As usual, Pat, per the script, don't really tell them what they're getting. No, don't tell them the truth. Just read what it says in the script.
Bullshit, buffoonery, shenanigans, bits.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't forget hijinks.
Hijinks, yes. Lots of hijinks, lots of bits and bits and bits, yes. But we won't get into that because that's just all what you get with the show. Let me tell you what this show is all about. And Jared, I'm glad you asked. Saturday Matinee Theatre is a retro review show brought to you by the LONGBOX CRUSADE, where we'll be taking you back to the past with some potentially overlooked retro awesomeness, either in the realm of television, movie serials, or films. Basically, if it's vintage and it's kind of forgotten, we're going to dig it up. On this episode, we'll continue our dive into 1937's Zorro serial. Zorro Rides Again. 1937's Zorro serial was produced by Saul Siegel. It starred John Carroll as Zorro, Helen Christine as Joyce, Reed Howells as Philip, Duncan Ronaldo as Ronaldo. Imagine that. Noah Beery as J.A. Marsden, and Richard Alexander as El Lobo. So grab your 6-shooters, foil your whip, and ride into adventure. But don't forget, we all can't be dashing heroes, winning the hearts of the maidens.
Okay, before we hand it over to Delvin for this episode's info, let's take a look, or in this case, listen to a commercial that would have been playing at the time this episode was released way back in the 1930s. I think this commercial is actually from 39, but whatever. They're getting harder and harder to find. Give me some slack. All right. This will get us into the right time frame of mind, if you will. Transport us back to the 30s. For this episode's commercial retro rewind, we have Rice Krispies.
Gee, I'm glad you stayed all night, Bobby. Don't you like the cereal? Oh, yeah. But it's a little mushy. It's not crisp like the kind my breakfast pals serve Dad and me at home. Your breakfast pals? Sure, they come every morning as soon as I whistle. What? I'm Snap. I'm Crackle. I'm Pop. At your service, Bobby.
Oh, yeah? Hey, gang. These guys is muscling in. Let's get 'em. Come on, Mushy.
Hey, let's go, Soggy. Krispies are swell. Look, they float. Sure, and they're so crisp, it's noisy. Hear it? Crisp to the last spoonful.
All right, guys, let's talk about the Rice Krispies commercial. We will start with Delvin.
So it wasn't a bad commercial. I didn't realize that the characters Snap, Crackle, and Pop had been around since the 30s. That is an awfully long time. That's very impressive. And I don't know, for some reason, they all look like some newsies. And then they were like, it's those soggy boys, lips, big asses. Like, whoa.
Jumped a few levels there, boys.
Rice Krispies got aggressive. Like, they would never put that in a kid's commercial nowadays. It's like cereal. It'll make you fight. Wah, 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 wah.
Get your dukes up, boys.
Oh man. So I was thoroughly entertained. It started off silly enough, and then all of a sudden you got your characters, and then all these bad guys crept out the bad cereal, and the fight, as they say, was on. So it was something to watch. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Everybody calm down. It's just cereal. All right. Let's talk to Jason.
Yeah, and that bad cereal was cornflakes. It was. They didn't want to say it out loud, but it was cornflakes.
They were eyeballing cornflakes.
But yeah, I'm with you, Delvin. It's like, it reminded me of, Ron Burgundy, the Anchorman scene when the two news groups start fighting. Snap whipped out a switchblade, started gutting Soggy right there in the cereal bowl. It was pretty brutal. It's a good fight. But yeah, I'm going to say something controversial here. I don't really care for Rice Krispies unless you add a bunch of marshmallow, sugar, melted butter, and bake it, and give me some Rice Krispie treats.
Oh,
now we're talking.
Mom back in the day can make some Rice Krispies.
Man,
and if you join our Patreon at the $5 level, we'll have Delvin's mom bake you some raisins.
And she'll mail them.
I'll join right now.
She'll mail them to me, and I will eat them all. You will never see any of those Rice Krispies.
Offer not available in all locations.
Yeah,
I agree with Jason. Like, we've all eaten Rice Krispies, but yeah, I gotta sprinkle them with some sugar. I really do.
Yeah, I had to too back in the day.
Same. Gotta put sugar in them for sure. I like Rice Krispie treats, but need some sugar.
Yeah, but if it's between Rice Krispies and cornflakes, then, it's Rice Krispies. But I'm not going to knife a man over it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, you put sugar on anything, it's going to be good. It'll increase the taste. Not good
Talking
for
about
you.
sugar, Pat?
Yeah, sugar.
Okay, anyway, while you've got the mic, Pat, what do you think about Rice Krispies?
Yeah, the Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
I would like Delvin too. I was surprised that Snap, Crackle, and the Pop were around way back then. I didn't know that. And it was interesting just to see how this is about over a minute and something commercial, kind of a long commercial, but it had action. It had mystery. It had adventure. It had almost everything in here, all wrapped up in a few less than a 2-minute episode here. And I thought it was really cool. The animation, I was like, oh, this is really kind of quaint and nice to see this little animation going on here. And then the bra broke out, and I'm like, what? What they're fighting over soggy cereal and I was like, wow, the Rice Krispie kids, man, they come from a way far away. That have they ever changed now? They're all tough dudes back in the 30s, but now they're all like just fun-loving people now in this year, 2024 or whatever. They're obviously more funner and just some goofballs.
It was neat to see how far back they went. This OG right here, man. It's a long time ago. Snap, Crackle, and Pop be in the game for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Timmy. Hey, Josh. Let's beat the out of these Scorpions guys.
You soggy pieces of I'll probably delete that, but I didn't say it. Oh, my God.
In the bowl.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
You would think, though, too, that the kid, he's like, he had his friend sleep over, and the kid that slept over is like, you can give me soggy cereal? This is what you're giving me? It's like, dude, the guy just let you sleep over, and you're going to treat him that way? This is the 30s. There's no respect in the 30s.
Man, it's a hard times out there.
That's true. The Depression was still going on. It's like,
Seems like you got anything in that bowl at all.
this is our only meal for the day, son. What are you talking about?
But it's soggy. Shut up.
Go get them, soggy warriors.
All right, guys. So here's lesson learned. This commercial is now crap's not action film face off. 120, 85 years old. And Snap, Crackle, and Pop, much like Chris Claremont.
Still doing it.
Yep.
Still doing it.
All right, with that, let's hand it over to Delvin and get some episode info.
Chapter 2 was titled The Fatal Minute. It was released, estimated the release records for this one. It's been somewhat lost of time, but we're thinking about October 23rd, 1937. The directors were William Whitney and John English. The writers were Frank Adrian, Morgan Cox, Barry Shipman, John Rathmel, and Ronald Davidson. As a reminder, all 12 episodes are available on YouTube. We highly encourage you to watch this episode before proceeding with this podcast, because not only is it just more fun that way, but Jared is about to give a synopsis about this episode, and then we're going to discuss it. There are going to be some spoilers heading your way, so if you hadn't watched this episode, pause it here, check it on YouTube, come back to us, and we're about to talk about it. Y'all, it's about 17 minutes. It's not too long. You should go check it out. For those of you who are watching along with us, we would love to hear your insights. Don't forget to comment about the show on Twitter X using the hashtag I'm following Zorro. Jared?
Hi. Hashtag I'm following Zorro.
Yeah, you are. Well done. Jason?
Hashtag I'm following Zorro.
He is too. And Pat?
I saw that castanet action Jason did.
Hashtag I am following Zorro. That's my whip sound.
Can I hear that one more time? Okay, now I have to hear everyone's whip sound. Sorry, them's the rules. Jared? See, that's mine. Mine's more like a whoosh. Jason, what's your whip sound? Whoosh. Okay, just make it Pat. One more time. Pat with the Wisconsin whip.
Hold on. I can do better. I wound it up a few times.
Oh.
Like
Got it. Okay. We've all got whip sounds in, and we can turn it over to Jared for the episode summary.
When we last saw Zorro or Zorro, whichever you prefer, he was trying to protect Joyce, Philip, and the payroll train from Lobo, who was bombing them from above. Luckily, Lobo is terrible at dropping bombs, and Zorro is amazing with a rifle. He shoots down Lobo's plane with a single bullet. With the payroll plan thwarted, Marsden instructs Lobo to go after the railroad supply depot. Luckily, Ronaldo sees the bandits riding in and beats them into town to spread the warning. Lobo's plan is solid, though. He wants everyone to worry about the bandits, quote-unquote, raiding the town, since it's really just a distraction so his men can place a bomb in the supply warehouse. Zorro spots the bomb planters and chases one down, brings him back to the warehouse, and then he tricks the bomber by moving the clock ahead by a few minutes. So the bandit reveals the bomb's location, but as soon as Zorro checks out the bomb, the rogue bomber knocks him unconscious, and the warehouse explodes. And that is where it is left off. It is time for highs, lows, what does. I'm feeling clockwise tonight, boys. Pat, you get to go.
All right. Well, I'll start us off with something that I really liked in the beginning of this episode. After we went through the title music and all the credits and all that, then they had this nice little portrait kind of scenes of the characters that were there, and then some brief descriptions that kind of help tell you who they are, what the character is a little bit about, and it helped kind of pull me back into it since it's been a little bit since we've seen the first episode, and I really like that. I thought that was time well spent.
That was a nice touch. Yes. And maybe someone here can help me out, because it just occurred to me. I guess I haven't paid close enough attention. Are Joyce and Philip a couple, or are they a brother and sister duo?
I think they're brother and sister.
Brother and sister duo? Okay.
Dang it. I was going to say couple.
Well, we all love Star Wars. Anyways. Anyway, it's over to you, Delvin.
Okay, filling the place for Alan J. Porter is Delvin R. Williams for this episode.
This show sucked.
The show, I mean, the show's 17 minutes long, and it lost me as soon as he took out that plane with that gunshot. I was like,
Zorro is a crack shot. Alan, come on.
You knew it was happening. He had that rifle with him. It was the only way.
Look, like no one can see the look that I'm giving, but like if you know me, you can probably imagine the look that I gave to what they're like, y'all.
Hang on.
If I'm Marsden, I'm giving up. Like if you can hit that plane from there, I quit. You win.
I want to set Delvin's barometer a little more. Okay, if it was Batman who got his kicked, Zorro shot the plane down.
Well, see,
anyways, go ahead. Man.
But that actually would be a complaint number 2.
Oh, here we go.
Like, bro got knocked out by an alarm clock.
They're built to wake you up,
and clearly to put you to sleep. So I was.
If it had been action film face off, I would have called that he was hit by the snooze button.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just how I watched it. I watched it in somewhat of a hurry, but it felt it felt like the plot didn't kind of move. I was just left wondering, like, why does Marsden want this railway so like destroyed so badly? I mean, like, dude has money of his own. Like, this could bring more money. Why would he want this destroyed? Or he could just work with the people and find a way to take it from them or something. He didn't have to blow it up. I don't know. Maybe just caught it in a bad mood or something, man.
Well, what he's trying to do is put the owner of the railroad, which is now Philip and Joyce, and I think partially James as well. Anyway, he's trying to put them out of business. So first he tried to go after the payroll, didn't work. And the second time he's blowing up their supply depot, which I won't go too much into it because we got to hear from Jason still. I don't want to steal anyone's highs or lows. But yeah, he'd be much smarter to go about this in a boardroom fashion, I think. But hey, it was 1930 something, and blowing stuff up was still a fun way to do stuff. Jason,
I'll start off with a high, which was almost a low because I was watching that fight between the guy that was standing guard while old boy was putting the bomb in and Zorro got knocked out by that guy, got knocked down. And I thought, oh no, we got another Batman moment here where he's gonna just keep getting pasted. But then my boy picks up the dynamite, throws a perfect spiral. Like
that was hilarious.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Blew that boy off the horse.
Yeah.
I was like, I stood up and cheered. I was like, yes, yes.
I got it written down on my notes as why is it always when there's a cigarette around, there's also dynamite. You knew something was going to happen when that guy was lighting that dynamite off of a cigarette and was going to do something with it.
Yeah, but at any rate, that was my high. Just wanted to throw that in there. It was a good shot. Good use of that dynamite.
That was awesome. You just reminded me of it. The thing I was going to mention was I kind of like Marsden's plan. I mean, again, he might be smarter to do this in the boardroom, but like he went after the payroll, it didn't work. He's used to easy wins. He's used to just like terrifying things, but Zorro's kind of screwing that up now. And like his next thought, because Lobo will said something like, "Oh, we can try to get the payroll." He's like, "No, screw the payroll. Go after the supply depot." And I was like, "That's good military strategy. Mess up the supply chain, you can mess up everything." So I was like, "All right, Marsden, you're doing a good job there." So anyway, I was going to toss that in before we go back to Pat.
I kind of am feeling what Delvin's feeling on this particular series. I think so far, I'm so used to we had some really good series before this one, I guess, and so I was expecting a little bit more out of it. I got to wonder, they're doing at least somewhat of a decent job of the cliffhanger somewhat, because I thought the bomb hit the train at the end of episode 1. It's like, I thought it got blown up somehow, but obviously the guy's got a bad aim on it. But however they're, doing that trickery with cinema, it got me because I'm like, oh man, how's it going to get out of this thing? Is it going to be like Batman and you're just going to walk out the plane and just...
That was the best one. Plane crashed. What happened? Oh, it crashed.
Oh, it crashed and became okay. I'm like, okay, let's do this then. But no, they didn't do that. And so I was like, wait a minute. It blew up. I saw it on the film. It blew up. So am I not going to see this? What's happening here? And then no, it just, I don't know, some trickery going on that I was like, eh.
So what you're saying is the bomb needs to be either on the train or off the train.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so now with the cliffhanger of this episode, what's going to happen now? Now it's like, they don't got me now anymore because I think
Pat, he's going to get away. Like, have you not watched any of these? Flash Gordon always made it out.
Yeah, but
I'm already liking these cliffhangers a little better than Batman. We'll see. The problem with Batman is they got, I don't know, they felt a little repetitive. And we could be going down that because we do have 2 explosions in a row.
Yeah.
At the end of the last one, they showed the big explosion. And in this one, Pat, I noticed the difference was they showed the big explosion and then it kind of, the smoke and the movement, all that blew it away, and the train was still there. Like it blew up right next to the
I guess so. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, all these serials from this era are going to do that.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I'm in though. I'm like, I want to know. I want to see how he got out of the warehouse. I mean, I assume he probably crawled out the back, or maybe was able to hide under something. We all know he's going to be fine, but I want to know how. I'm much more Flash Gordon on these cliffhangers than I was the Batman ones.
Okay, I can see that.
Because I mean, the Batman one kind of lost me. It was like he crashed in the plane, and like next episode, he just comes walking out. I was like, he didn't even escape or nothing. He just crashed. It's kind of fun. It's memorable. Anyway,
he had an extra life in the utility belt.
I guess. But if it's not, I don't know. I might just be a homer here. I'm a bit more up on this, but then again, I wasn't here last episode, so first of all, I'm excited to talk about it. Second of all, I've always been a big Zorro fan. So, anyways.
I can respect that.
But, if it's not grabbing you, it's not grabbing. Now, the one thing, again, I'm still playing defense attorney, Your Honor, but the one thing I did like was like that first one was like full 30 minutes. And this one was tighter. It was 17 minutes. And then, of course, like 2 of that's recap and whatnot. And I thought I like the how they're moving it along at least. And anyway.
You're right.
I won't defend it anymore. If it's not grabbing you, it's not grabbing you. The good news is it has fewer episodes than Batman. So if it doesn't grab you, Pat, you're not in for 15. I think you're in for 12 or 13 on this one. Delvin.
So I'll just give my opinion since I really we've already talked about most of the things that I would talk about. I'm not off of it at this point. I'm glad that it's 12 and not because of, I think I'm going to get tired of it. Not that. It's more like you are going to have less filler. And I wouldn't say this was filler, but I'll say that it felt very similar to the first one in a way, in that we already know Marsden and his plot. And so we have, for our other show that we're watching, Robin Hood. Robin Hood hasn't come across as repetitive, even though we know that the Sheriff of Nottingham is a ne'er-do-well and he's going to do ne'er-do-well tactics because he is an absolute hater towards Robin Hood. But somehow things have been, a little bit serious, but a little bit light and airy and funny and engaging. And not saying that this doesn't have a chance to be, just saying that it hasn't stretched its legs yet for me yet. So I'm interested to see what happens in episode 3. I wanted more out of episode 2 than it just felt like it didn't fully grasp what we got from episode 1. Because episode 1, I was pretty much in, and there's some pretty good cliffhangers, pretty good reveal when his uncle died. And he's like, can I see who you are, Zorro? And dude was like, you gotta be kidding me. And dies and everything. So hopefully there's some more gripping moments like that to come, but I'm not off of it yet. Not by any stretch.
I guess I'm not I don't know that there's going to be gripping moments to come because this is 17-minute specials made for kids going to the 1930s. But you never know. We may get a little something. I don't know. I've never seen this series before. I'm watching it new right along with you guys. But man, if we're going to use the Robin Hood and or 54 Sherlock Holmes measuring stick, I don't think much is going to measure up to those because I love 54 Holmes.
Those are tough.
And Robin Hood has not missed a beat. So yeah, we've definitely. I feel like we'll get to you eventually, Jason. This is what we get for not having a guest tonight. I feel like we have hit home run because, the whole point of the show is we do TV show to serial to TV show to serial. I just feel like we've picked some great TV shows. And serials are kind of hit and miss, but they're always something to talk about. Jason, you can weigh in on that big overarching thought, or you can just get back to Zorro, whatever you want to do.
I'm going to get back to Zorro because I got a what the for my second round. And I'm going to go back to the beginning scene with the train. What was the purpose of the gang on horseback during that scene? Because they ride up at the end of 1 like they're going to go and do the classic raid the train by horseback. And I'm all in for that. Maybe. And then they're like, wait. Let's let this plane come and bomb the train. Sounds like a good plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The plane gets shot down and they go, well, guess you're going home. I'm like, no, you were plan B, man.
You're right. They kind of were plan B, but then again, they saw Zorro take a plane down with a single shot.
Yeah.
they were like, well,
or were they there with Marston? He seems to be a good game planner. So was that group a distraction as well too? So then the plane can come in and just bomb away at it.
Yeah, I felt like the master plan was to bomb the train, then they go in and find the pay box and ride out. I think that was the master plan. But I think Jason's got a point, though. They did feel like they were the backup.
Let's get back to the camp.
It's just, in case you're listening and you don't know a lot about firearms or the military or marksmanship, we are talking about a guy who shot down an airplane with I don't know what caliber rifle that was, but he's on a moving train and the airplane is moving. That is incredible.
It was like, do you remember? I think we were still in college, and Mark Waid wrote this issue of Captain America.
Oh, I know.
Where basically this rocket had taken off, and Captain America was like, I've got to disable it. And this rocket had taken off for several seconds. And Captain America, with his shield, like flicks the shield, and the shield has to go like a distance of like a mile. And it knocks something off of the rocket, and people are like, "Oh, come on! Like, really? Like, it's even Cap?" And people are like, "Yeah, come on!" Like, that's what the Zorro moment was. It was Mark Waid's Captain America rocket shield thing.
Well, anyways, looks like we're gonna have some highs and lows and some differing opinions on Zorro again. Admitted homer for Zorro, but also haven't seen this. But I come in it with a ton of optimism. And I wasn't on the last episode or the premiere episode for Zorro. Delvin ran things. Delvin got me excited because Delvin was like, man, I like this show. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not the only one. But he turned on me on this episode. Turned on me.
I want to come back, though. I want to be back on your side. Just know that. It kind of surprised me. I was like, I expected more. That was all. Yeah. Just expected a little more.
You know, I think just as a quick check-in, and maybe we need to get you back on checking in on things, Pat, because you usually check in on what Batman was fighting and breaking and all that stuff. I think Zorro only sang for a little bit on this. I think post-train, he sang a little ditty as he was heading out.
And this little clippity, yep.
And I was, just doing a little research. A lot of the research was generated by what you guys talked about last time. Because I was like, well, was there a point in history where there were people out west riding horses while there was a train and airplanes were a thing and all that? And there was. The early 1900s. It all came together.
Yeah, we saw Three Amigos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's very much like Three Amigos, which is not something you normally want to reference for a factual thing,
Did you see that mail plane? How do you know it's a mail plane?
How do you know it's a mail plane? So I researched that, and I was like, okay, that's neat. And also, at this point in Hollywood, the singing cowboy picture was exceptionally popular.
Oh, okay.
That's why we've got a singing Zorro. Like this whole singing cowboy thing, Hollywood, it kind of took real cowboys and some actor cowboys, and they made a whole genre out of this. This is where you get like Tom Mix and Roy Rogers, and they all are birthed of this era. So it's kind of
Three Amigos.
Once again, Three Amigos is a great reference point for this. That's gonna be our touchstone for this whole thing. Anyway, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about Zorro, or we're gonna go to fun fact?
I do like how he kind of played her off a little bit because she's like, "Can you tell me who's under the mask or what your real name is?" And he's just like, "Sorry, I can't. It's just Zorro."
That's right. You can't help it how smooth he is.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of wondering why I was wondering whether I was like, I can't remember. Are they brother and sister? Or are they a couple? Because he about to break that couple up.
I was like, he's about ready to start tapping that. And it's going to be really awkward if they're a couple.
Yeah, she kind of got the vapors a little bit. Like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Is it me, though? I don't like the mask.
Well, we talked about that. The full mask is to hide the stunt man.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's the stunt man and not him. It's really only him when he's without the mask. A lot of the times, otherwise he's fighting and jumping on and off stuff.
Yeah.
And Alan did a great job of covering the stunt man. Kind of a fun fact segment himself. If you guys listeners didn't catch the first episode, go back and check it out. Alan did a great rundown on the stuntman who plays the other part of Zorro. The Lou Ferrigno part of Zorro to the Bill Bixby. All right, my metaphors are mixing.
I'm just gonna say I like the other funny thing real quick is when he rides up and then sneaks up on the buddy, and he jumps into the back of the car.
In the back of the car, Ronaldo.
Yeah, on Ronaldo, and he's like, doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, I'm so clever.
Oh, that's Zorro.
Oh, that's Zorro. He's a hoot. Okay, let's get into the fun facts. I'm going back to John Carroll here, the guy who played Zorro. Well, the non-stunt man who played Zorro. I talked a little bit about him, or Delvin did for me in the last episode. He was a well-established actor in Hollywood, and he had a wife named Lucille, and Lucille was a casting director at MGM. I want you to put your headspace. Okay, she's casting people for movies. She's seen hundreds and thousands of auditions for all these films in 1948, and she has someone walk through that door that she thinks is so talented that she is going to make it all the way to the top to be a star. So much so that she asks her husband, she says, I met someone today who was so talented, I would like to put this girl out, like give her a room in the house because I know she's going to make it. This is a casting. You would think a casting director would be jaded. And the person that John Carroll and his wife Lucille put up in their house to get till she got on her feet was a little known actress named Marilyn Monroe. So that was fascinating to me.
You know, John was like, "No, we are not putting anybody." Wait a minute.
What are we? A shanty town for? Oh wait.
Happy birthday,
Our family's here. But yeah, I picked up that little nugget. I thought, what a fun fact that they helped get fledgling movie actress Marilyn Monroe off to a good start. That just, to me, really just, I underscored it in my story there. It just speaks the amount of it factor that she had, that this casting lady who'd seen thousands of people went, this is special right here. Pretty cool. With that, let's get into the Whip Snap ratings. And Pat, you have plenty of audio files to choose from because we all did such great whip snaps for you today. There's that Wisconsin whip. Jason's back on the wind up there. There we go. As you guys may know, we rate things on a scale of 1 to 5 on this program. 5 means you loved it. It allowed you to escape a train bomb. 4 means it was very good. 3, it was good. 2, it was just okay. And 1, you did not like it. You got knocked out with your own alarm clock. Ding! That was pretty funny. Oh, the bomb is over here. Right here. That's the spot. Whap!
Right on time.
Oh, crap. I forgot to mention when they were looking for the bomb, she was like right by the stove, so we all knew bombs and stuff. But she was looking in something that was so stupid, like that couldn't even hold a bomb. What are you
looking in the canteen?
Like, hey, in the canteen, that's what it was. Yeah. I was like, what?
And then they're calling her. Come on, we gotta go.
In the canteen, really?
Well, she almost opened the stove when they called her, and it was like they were this close to getting it.
So let's go around the horn. We'll do counterclockwise. Jason, you get to go first. 1 to 5, episode 2.
You know, I'll probably be the high person on this one. I gave it a 4. It took me a minute to get over the fact that we're not going to see our Zorro with a sword. Okay, I think I aired that out in episode 1. So now on my barometer set, I kind of know what to expect with this one. So with that, they had a good resolution for the first cliffhanger. Okay, it was a little bit, you got to suspend disbelief with the remarkable rifle shot. They had good character development with Zorro. I like the fun play, like we talked about him jumping in the back of the car and playing the little gag on his chauffeur buddy there. I like the difference between him and his Zorro character and him and his civilian character. And they do a good job playing off of that. There was good tension, like we said, trying to find the bomb. I thought Zorro was clever by moving the time on the clock forward to really amping up the energy and really getting that guy to sing. Like I said, there's some good action elements too. That shootout was pretty legit. I thought it was a pretty good little gunfight they had going on there. So overall, I was entertained. You know, it was lean, mean 17 minutes, but it was fun. I laughed out loud a couple times. I had a good time, so I'll give it a 4.
Jason gives it a 4. We go to Delvin. What do you think? I'm predicting a 3 from you on this one with a leery eye.
That's exactly it. And it's not even that leery. It's just like, okay, yeah, I think I went 4 for the first one. I'm downgrading it to a 3 because I don't feel like it met the expectations of episode 1. But I'm not off the train. I mean, it took me a minute with Batman for me to finally be like, ugh, watching these are kind of a chore. And I didn't feel that. It didn't feel like a chore. I just wanted just a little bit more. That said, we didn't mention it to piggyback of what Jason said. It took some stones for him to set that clock ahead. And it's like, okay, like, you know when it's going off. I don't. Like, I guess we blow up, right? And then, no. Like, that was an excellent game of chicken. And it showed some cunningness and some stones from Zorro. So I appreciated that.
I kind of thought it was, all right, good. I was gonna say, I thought it was also funny that our demolition man, he was like, "Okay, I got to give myself time to get out. 30 minutes. That should be good." I think he could have like set that clock a little narrower, but.
And I got a kick out of the fact that there was 2 guys on a demolition job. And so I was like, gets the one guy's like, tell me what the bomb is. Like, I didn't place it. The other guy did. Which guy? That guy that just rode off?
Yeah. I got to ride all the way out there.
I grabbed the wrong guy. Anyway, Pat, 1 to 5. I'm predicting a 3 from you as well, sir.
Boy, like Delvin, I will also be at a 3. I liked it, but I think just talking it out with everybody, and like Jason said, I found some entertainment in it. It wasn't like I was like mad at it or I had to, stop watching it. I think the other bonus part of it is it was like maybe 15, 16 minutes worth of it. So what they had the time to do it in, they did a good job of it. I just want some different action beats in this than what we've had before. So hopefully we're going to get it, and I'm sure we will.
Anyways, that brings it to me. I'm going to join my brother on 4 islands. So Jason and I are going to be 2 cool guys.
Wait, what?
I was on the mic, Pat.
Oh, see, that's how it works.
And honestly, I was with you guys at a 3. And what really pushed me over is Jason reminded me of the incredibly good dynamite throw after the incredibly good rifle shot. Okay. The incredibly good rifle shot was kind of laughable, but you're like, okay, it was fun. It was silly. It was good. Like, no one could make that shot. But when he threw that dynamite with that perfect
blew that horse into the air.
Oh, man.
That was great.
And that also took
horse.
That took stones, too. Like, because he knew that thing was about to go off. It's like, well, either I'm going to get blown all the way up or my arm is trying to throw this thing, so screw it. So I like that, too.
I would have to say this Zorro is more action-y and more action stuff that he's done than we've seen Batman do. Batman was more just
Batman was involved in a lot of action.
Yeah.
This wasn't successful.
Because like Zorro did, he was in the gunfight. He shot down the plane. He, beat up the one guy, the bomber guy. Then he's like, oh, no, it wasn't me. It was this other guy. He's like, oh, okay, now I got to go chase down this other guy again.
That was funny.
But fortunately, that guy gave him 30 minutes to do it. So
thank you for the buffer, bomber guy. All right, guys, let's get into the California Yucatan Railroad mailbag, which thankfully did not get blown up. We are thrilled to kick off these comments with special shout-outs to our Crusaders Club members. These are the fine folks who have stepped up and joined our crusade. They enjoy early access to special Longbox episodes, voting on show content, free raffle entries, priority seating to be guests on shows, and so much more. Here are the folks that are reaping the benefits and giving some much appreciated support to the show.
Alan W. Wright.
And Helico Wolf.
Auburn Elvis.
Bill Beer.
Braxton Underwood.
Clinton Robeson.
Captain Entropy.
Clark Westfield.
Dave Battlewagon Collins.
Come down on him.
Eric Hodges.
Eric Porter.
Ezra Gallo.
Gary V.
Gene Hendricks.
Gerald Green.
Heinz K.
Jason Keene.
Jason Lady.
Jeff Polier.
Jeremy L.
Jim Jarman. I hope you like Jim Jarman too. Yay.
Jim Neal.
Joe Thomas.
John Watson.
Josh Strickland.
Candace Ward.
Captivating Kathy Bright, our MVP.
Matt and Lizzie Passo.
Mark Ross.
Maxwell Traver.
Welcoming Michael Minton.
Miranda W.
P.D. Devons.
Paul Hicks.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Rob Morgan.
Samantha Maney.
Sean Urbanski.
Spidey 67.
Spreadsheet.
Steve Cronin.
Tim Price.
Tony Pennington.
And Toronto Cop. If we missed anyone on our list, we apologize. Please keep in mind that we record these episodes well in advance of release. So if you're a recent addition, we will add you soon, but no worries. You can let us know we missed you by sending your hate-filled emails to contact@longboxcrusade.com, and Pat will straighten it all out.
As long as it doesn't get blown up in the mail.
That's it, yeah. All our stuff arrives by train. And if you're asking yourself, how do I become a Crusaders Club member? It's very simple. Patreon.com/LongboxCrusade. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to the amazing world of the Crusaders Club. Come check it out. And if my math is correct, I think we have 45 45 folks in there now. I want to thank each and every one of you. And when we get to 50, I guess Delvin and I will have to watch something else that he doesn't want to watch. But we always have fun talking about it. We did Star Wars Holiday Special for 30. We did Roger Corman's Fantastic Four for 40. I'll tell you what, if you're listening, give us some suggestions on what we should do when we hit the 50 members to give you guys an extra show. We're all ears. And of course, if you don't have any extra money laying around, but you still want to support us here at the Longbox Crusade, just take a moment to write a review for this podcast, wherever you listen to it. If you're doing the YouTube thing or the Spotify thing or the Apple thing, wherever you're listening, if you gave us a review and said, hey, you guys are great, we'd love to hear from you. Or if you don't like the show, keep that to yourself. All right, let's get into the shares and retweets from our last Zorro episode, which was Chapter 1, Death from the Sky. Whew. I don't know if we can read all these names. Typical Saturday Matinee Theater, our least loved show, but we still got a little support.
High from our own supply here, too.
That's right. Everybody, I just realized everybody who retweeted it has some kind of an appearance on this network. But let's go around the horn. Go ahead, Pat.
All right, I'll start us off with the MVP, Kathy Bright. Always liking, always sharing, always subscribing. Thank you, Kathy.
Also doing the same thing as Clinton Robeson, but he's down in the basement. That's the only difference.
And our good friend Alan J. Porter also did a share and retweet.
And we ended up with one comment from that last show, and it was from our friend Gene Hendricks, who also has had a show on this network in the past. Oh, and he said his first memory of Zorro was the Filmation cartoon. His favorite iteration of Zorro is Guy Williams. And the Zorro that he still quotes, and he included a GIF of George Hamilton from Zorro, the Gay Blade, which is an underrated film, by the way. I rewatched it probably about a year ago. I remember watching as a kid and really like it. Go, does this hold up? And then, of course, does this, hold up? If you know what I mean, in the modern era. And it was not, in my opinion, not being spirited at all. And it was a lot of fun, and I would totally watch it again. That's it. So, we could use a little more love on this show. If you listen to Saturday Matinee Theater, you like this old stuff, how about you give us a comment somewhere? Maybe do a little retweet or share. Or you can leave us a voicemail at 707-532-5269, 707-532-LBOX.
Snap, crackle, pop. Pick up the phone. We'll find you.
There's a lot of things going on there. Over to you, Jason.
All right. Yeah, and I guess if you, if you got a grandmother, grandfather, somebody like these things but doesn't know how computers and podcasts work, help them out.
Help them out, man.
we need some more. We need some more listeners.
Pick up the modem.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Saturday Matinee Theater. If you'd like to hear more from us in the realm of comic books, action films, and more, check out the Longbox Crusade. Pat, show them the way.
Well, Jason, I am glad you asked. You can find the Longbox Crusade on Spotify, Amazon, Audible, pretty much all of those podcatchers out there, and on YouTube as well. Just go look up www.longboxcrusade.com. You'll find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all at the Longbox Crusade.
Thank you, Pat. And if you love James Bond like we do, and if you want to hear us on our trek through all things James Bond, check out On Her Majesty's Secret Podcast. Jared, where can they find that?
I have a big surprise for everybody. I usually bring in Christopher Walken or Sean Connery to talk about this, but in this case, as we're doing Zorro, I have Antonio Banderas live with us in the studio in costume. He's got the mask. He's got the mustache. He's going to tell us where we can find the James Bond stuff. Come on over here, Antonio. Oh, I tricked you, dumbass. It's just me in a mask. I drew the mustache on.
Chris Walken, master of disguises.
I am. I'm crafty. You guys can find the show about James Bond on the internet. Thanks. He didn't even tell them more. Damn it, Chris. It's embarrassing. All right, guys, we're based out of Podbean for the James Bond show, and Apple's another great place to find us. But if you look around on Our Majesty's Secret Podcast, you will find us. The direct spot is www.secretpodcast.podbean.com, and our Twitter handle is at OHMSPod. Thanks for nothing, Chris. You suck.
All right. Well, if you'd like to chat with us online, we can be found at Pat. Go ahead and kick us off.
Well, Jason, I'm glad you asked. You can find me on the X at Christatos01. And don't forget, we got the Meximelt for one more week at Pat and Dave's Come Down on Them Tacos. Meximelt, just for you.
All right, Delvin.
Twitter X, DEE_RAY1977. Instagram, Delvin Ray. What about you, Jason?
You can find me at Jason Albrick on Instagram and on Threads. And Jared.
I am, as always, at Yard Sale Artist on X, Facebook, and Instagram. You can check out my artwares at www.theyardsaleartist.com. But I just realized this past week, I did find, I draw on the book pages. I found a Zorro book.
Ooh.
So I think we all know what needs to happen. So anyway, that's where you can find me on the internet. In real life, you can find me at Pat and Dave's Come Down on Them Tacos, trying the Meximel.
All right. Well, get your quiver filled with arrows. Get ready to fight against taxation, because our next episode will continue our journey through the 1955 adventures of Robin Hood TV series. We'll see you next episode for episode 9, titled Checkmate. The meetup location, Sherwood Forest.
Please remember to replace the speaker on the post when you leave the theater.
Outtakes.
Oh, I lost my plot because I was saying Zorro correctly. Winning the hearts of the maidens.
That's a line from the show. You did a good job.
I know. That was a good one.
Phony. Jared's a big fat phony.
39, Jared. This was on the 37.